Peace. What's happening, good people? This gift here for Payusnomind, and today we're talking about the different third parties you can use to monetize your music on Soundcloud. Now, you have 1RPM, you have Rootnote, you have Repost, and you have Symphonic that I'm aware of, right? Now, with 1RPM, you can go through their content ID system, which is similar to YouTube, where they'll basically have a digital fingerprint of your tracks, and they'll scan SoundCloud to find other tracks that match that fingerprint, and those tracks will be tagged as unauthorized uploads, and they'll claim them and run ads on them and pay you the ad revenue generated by those tracks. Right now, in addition to claiming other people's uploads as third-party content, they'll claim your uploads as third-party content. And when you upload tracks, you'll get the copyright notice, and all of that other stuff, which is annoying, and hangs your tracks. You won't be able to directly get your stuff up there. And if you don't want to do that, then you don't go through the content ID system with 1RPM. You join their SoundCloud network, and in joining their SoundCloud network, you basically become a premier partner to some extent, not to the full extent, but to some extent, where you gain the ability to be able to monetize your tracks on SoundCloud directly through 1RPM. So it's not like you can go on SoundCloud and monetize your tracks. You got to do it through 1RPM, so you'll be able to have ads run on your tracks and collect revenue from them, Now, in addition to that, you'll also have the content ID system where they'll find other people's unauthorized uploads and, pay you for those people, uploading your music to SoundCloud. Your channel will be whitelisted, so it won't come up in their content ID system if you're in the SoundCloud network of 1RPM. Now, they don't make it easy for you to join their network. It's not like a section of their site that you just go and click a button or, integrate your SoundCloud account with, the 1RPM platform. You got to email them and they send you a spreadsheet, and you have to fill out this spreadsheet with all of this information for your tracks, like a P line and all of this different stuff, which is to some extent kind of like confusing. You don't know what means what, and they don't really provide you with a guide explaining what means what, or really provide any kind of information on the SoundCloud monetization platform that they have. So I'm not really a fan of their SoundCloud monetization thing, because it's not a lot of information on it, and it's yeah. But they do it. And if you want to go through 1RPM, like if you distribute your music through them and you want to keep everything in one place, then you might want to use them. Now, the other features that they provide with your SoundCloud monetization is SoundCloud monetization and content ID. That's pretty much what they do, and that's pretty much all I know for 1RPM. Now, with Rootnote, Rootnote offers SoundCloud monetization on tracks you have available for sale in their music store. So your songs have to be available for sale in their store in order to be monetized on SoundCloud. Now, in your artist dashboard on Rootnote, you'll find a SoundCloud tab. The SoundCloud page provides information on how you can monetize your tracks on Rootnote. Now, first, you have to submit your SoundCloud profile for review, and after 24 to 48 hours, your channel will be approved and you can start monetizing tracks. Now, it takes 14 days for a track to be monetized through Rootnote. Once you have a track monetized, you gain access to other SoundCloud features through Rootnote, such as unlimited uploads. So you gain the ability to be able to upload an unlimited amount of music to SoundCloud. So it operates like an unlimited pro account, but it's not an unlimited pro account because you don't gain access to stats. So if you want access to detailed stats, you still have to pay to become an unlimited pro user. You don't gain stats, with Rootnote. Now, you also get featured profiles, which is basically good if you are a label or a part of an artist collective, so you gain the ability to be able to feature other people's profiles in your SoundCloud banner. Now, you also get track visuals, which allows you to skin your audio player with things like your album cover or another graphical image, that you can use to promote whatever or brand. Now you also gain the ability to have a clickable banner, which is basically the ability to be able to put like graphic images, like a SoundCloud, like a Spotify symbol and the Apple symbol and all of these different logos in a SoundCloud banner, and have people be able to click on those buttons to go to those sites. Like you can put a SoundCloud a Spotify button and they can click that button and go to Spotify, or a Apple logo and they can click that logo and go to Apple, and things like that, so you can use that to drive traffic elsewhere, so it just gives you a better visual representation of links to other platforms in your website and things like that than what SoundCloud already provides, because all they give you is that buy button, and the text links and the description box, which a lot of people tend to overlook. Now RootNote takes 15% of your SoundCloud revenue, so you basically get to keep 85% of your SoundCloud revenue. RootNote takes 15%. Now SoundCloud earnings, royalties, and sales reports are added 45 days after the end of each month. So RootNote is paying you 45 days after the end of each month. Stats in the RootNote dashboard allow you to keep track of your SoundCloud streams and earnings. Other features include free UPC barcodes and ISRC codes, free removal. So if you decide you don't want to be a part of their SoundCloud network no more, you can just have your songs removed, and it's no fuss or hassle really. And that is pretty much the gist of getting your music on SoundCloud through RootNote. Now with Repost looks like the cream of the crop as far as SoundCloud monetization goes. It's pretty much what they do. They're not a digital distributor that offers SoundCloud monetization. They're a SoundCloud network that offers digital distribution in addition to what they do with SoundCloud. Now they have high standards, requiring a minimum of 7,000 streams per upload to join. You also have to be uploading regularly, and you also have to upload on a regular basis and have an account in good standing, which basically means, you don't have any copyright infringement strikes against you. Now, Repost states that it supplies you with a dedicated content manager, which is someone that helps you create a content strategy and helps promote your music on SoundCloud. This is also the person you'll have to contact with any concerns or questions. So basically, this is your account manager. You get an account manager with Repost. You choose which songs you want to monetize, but pretty much anything on SoundCloud, anything on your SoundCloud page is fair game. Just make sure not to monetize unauthorized remixes, covers, anything like that. Now, Repost takes 30% of your SoundCloud revenue. Payments are sent out the last calendar day of the month. It takes 60 days for you to receive your first payment. You must also be owed at least $100 to receive your first payout. Repost pays through PayPal, and so does RootNote, if I failed to mention that. Now the features with Repost include Content ID, which is, the digital fingerprint thing that's similar to YouTube, the clickable banner, unlimited uploads. So they give you the clickable banner just like RootNote does, where you could put your iTunes and Spotify links in your SoundCloud banner. You have unlimited uploads, so you get to upload an unlimited amount of music to SoundCloud. But just like RootNote, you don't become a Premier Unlimited Pro user, so you don't get stats. You don't get access to advanced stats. Free ISRC codes. It'll help get tracks removed. Like if you find somebody who uploaded your music to SoundCloud without your permission and you don't want to monetize it, you just want it taken down, you can contact Repost and they'll handle that for you. Track art, so they also do the skinned audio player where you can put your album cover in your audio player and things like that. Promoted tracks. They help you do promoted track campaigns with SoundCloud, where you sign into SoundCloud and you see in your SoundCloud streams, they have those promoted tracks. They will facilitate you being able to run those types of ads on SoundCloud. Now, that's pretty expensive. What they told me was basically it's between $2,000 and $5,000 to run a promoted tracks campaign on SoundCloud. So if you got that kind of bread and you want to do it, then be my guest. Now they also have a live chat on site, where you can go to their site and post questions, and somebody will reply to you instantly if someone is currently available, and if not, you'll get a reply in your email. Symphonic. Now, Symphonic is a digital distributor that provides SoundCloud monetization, and you can join their Content ID program or their SoundCloud network. Now, when you join Symphonic SoundCloud network, monetization is handled on your SoundCloud account, unlike RootNote, which provides a dashboard on their site where you activate your tracks for monetization, and 1RPM, which does it through spreadsheets. Repost, I don't really know how they do it. They don't really specify. Maybe they allow you to control it from your SoundCloud account. Maybe they don't. They do say that you have control over which songs are monetized, but they don't really specify, how the process works. So them, I'm not sure. Now, but with Symphonic, you do it on your end. Now, in order to monetize your music on SoundCloud with Symphonic, you have to submit your account for approval. It takes about 3 to 5 days for your account to be approved. Once your account is approved, you can activate your tracks for monetization. It takes about 3 to 5 days for your tracks to be approved for monetization. So all in all, the initial setup process takes about 6 to 10 days. After that, you'll just have to wait the 3 to 5 days for your track to be activated. So it's 6 to 10 days to get set up, including activating your account and then activating those first few tracks. But after that, it's 3 to 5 days for whatever track you want to activate. Now, Symphonic takes 30% of your SoundCloud revenue. You keep 70%, and they pay quarterly, which basically means they pay every 3 months instead of monthly. You also have to wait 35 to 45 days after the end of each quarter for your royalties to be processed. And then 35 to 45 days after each quarter, you can withdraw your money provided that you have reached the threshold. And they have a threshold of $50. So if you have at least $50 in your account, you can withdraw your money. If you don't, and you have under $50, then you have to wait another 3 months or however long until you reach the threshold to withdraw your funds. They have a lot of different ways that they pay you, a lot of different ways for you to get your money. They pay you through PayPal, and they send it as a friend, which prevents you from being charged transaction fees. They do bank transfer, but they charge $45 for bank transfer. They'll send you a check. If you live in the US or Canada, that's free. If not, they charge for that too. They send payments through something called Zoom for Latin America and MoneyGram. Now, out of all the options I've seen, Symphonic, I'll give credit for being the most informative. Their FAQ provides the most information on SoundCloud monetization I've seen so far. Now, to keep score, Repost takes 30% of your revenue. Payments are sent out on the last calendar day of the month. It takes 60 days for you to receive your first payment, and you must be owed at least $100 to receive your first payment. And they pay you through PayPal. RootNote takes 15% of your SoundCloud revenue. And earnings and royalties are reported 45 days after the end of each month. And there's no minimum balance that you have to have in order to withdraw your money from RootNote. Now, with Symphonic, they take 30% of your revenue. They pay you quarterly, which is again every 3 months. They pay you through PayPal, and they send it in a way that avoids fees. They also pay through bank transfer, check, Zoom, and MoneyGram. So you have those guys as options. This is Gift signing off. Pay us no mind. Peace.